How's it going, everyone? It's TrulyMystic, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at arguably the worst game mode in Fortnite history, and yes, probably even worse than Party Royale. We are of course talking about Legends Landing, and if you have no idea what this mode is or never heard of it, I honestly don't blame you. Today we'll be attempting to fix this really trash game mode and make it into something better than it is now, because I think that Legends Landing has potential, but right now is just super weak. Without further ado, let's get into the brief history of Legends Landing and give my attempt to fix it. Let's get straight into it. So, Legends Landing came out in February 14th, 2022, Chapter 3, Season 1. This was a interesting mode, and also by Epic Games, created with creative, and the point of it was basically to watch the FNCS practice shooting and play box fights. Before, you used to be able to watch these events through Party Royale, but Epic made Legends Landing so that watch parties could exist in this instead. Now, before, it used to look very different. If you go into it now, Legends Landing is not what it used to be. Over time, it's had a few revamps and removed some different things, added some different things. It's weird. You also used to be able to earn cosmetics when playing in this mode, but that's no longer a thing. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for Legends Landing. Again, this is a mode that no one plays, and it's literally developed by Epic Games. It's one of the core modes, weirdly, and nobody talks about it. In fact, the player count is extremely low, even lower than Party Royale. That's why I say that Legends Landing is arguably the worst mode in Fortnite history. Now, there are a couple things that I do like about the mode. Like, I think playing box fights in it is really cool. You can practice your shooting, and being able to watch the FNCS in this mode is a neat little treat. You know, you don't have to use your phone or go on any streaming services. If you're already playing the game, you can just watch it in there with other people, which I think is pretty cool. I also do like the Hall of Champions. I want to further build on this feature once we get to the fixing part of this video, but the Hall of Champions is something that I find pretty interesting. Basically, what it is it shows the previous winners of the other, whatever, tournaments, FNCS Cups, all that. It shows, you know, the duos or the trios or the, I think, solos. I've only seen duos, but yeah. Displays the names and even a couple skins. It's like a neat little monument section for these pros, and I think that is really cool. And again, I'll further expand on that, but other than those things, the mode is really not that great. I mean, for one, you can play box fights in other maps. Creative mode has a ton of them, if not way better maps. The wait time to even get into a box fight, or I should say build fight, because now we have the build fights instead of box fights, is incredibly long. It's by random, so you're not always bound to get selected, and then once two players are fighting it out, you'd have to wait. Once you do get into the build fight, it's weird. You have to wait a little bit before you can start building and battling, and once you start building, you will not be able to edit your own builds. It's dumb. I'm pretty sure that's a bug, and I don't really see them fixing it anytime soon. But yeah, Legends Landing has a weird bug where if you go into a build fight with someone, you literally cannot edit your builds, which just kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a build fight. What are we doing? Building and not being able to edit? No, dude. And again, there is really nobody playing this mode, so you can go into it expecting to build fight someone, and again, you will not be able to edit, and think you have a pretty good shot at waiting in the queue because there's barely anybody playing it. But literally, dude, just go play another creative map. The queue times are way shorter, and you will be able to edit your build. Not to mention that a lot of times the queues get stuck, and the game kind of has to recalibrate itself because Legends Landing is literally so buggy and just doesn't work half of the time. So a lot of times the players will just end up waiting there, sitting or emoting. And again, there's barely any players to the point where they add fake NPCs to cheer the fighters on. It's really bad. Legends Landing also has another sub mode in it, I guess you can call it, where it's kind of similar to Rocket Racing. It's not. And you can basically race cars in it to practice for Rocket Racing. No, nobody's gonna play this. Like, I don't know how this got the okay from Epic to release as a core mode. This is just really bad. Way worse than what it used to be like. The tracks in the Rocket Racing little mode that they have are really small. You cannot stay on it for the life of you, and you still have the annoying queue times, and it's like, it's not worth playing. I think Legends Landing used to be a little better back then, and I do vaguely remember going in it, but being super confused. However, now the mode is just even worse. It is not worth playing, and it is not worth your time. And again, I wonder why Epic even keeps it around or barely updates it if the mode performs so poorly to begin with. And so I know I've been pretty much shit talking Legends Landing for the longest, which is why today I have a proposal to fix this mode or just get rid of it and make a new one. So here we go. When I used to look at Legends Landing, I saw the Hall of Champions, and it gave me a pretty good idea for what Epic could potentially turn this mode into, or just make a whole new mode all around. You see, the Hall of Champions is really interesting because you have these monuments built for players that have played the game, have put in hours, and have won these cups. It's really cool, and I'm glad that Fortnite recognizes that and adds these type of things to their game. I don't think there's even one for Booga, but whatever. The thing is though, this can be so much more elaborated on. The Hall of Champions in Legends Landing doesn't showcase the skins that these FNCS winners have worn to won their games. It just shows a bunch of random sweat skins. I mean, I could be wrong, I don't typically watch the FNCS, but I'm pretty sure people are not running the default skin in FNCS. There's a bunch of other sweaty skins that I think they are instead running. And so what I would do is expand the Hall of Champions place. If you want more people to play this mode and see previous winners of previous tournaments, I definitely think that expanding the lore behind each team's win and adding possible stats and their skins that they actually wore in game would be a pretty good idea. This will get a couple more players to play Legends Landing for the history. And yes, that is an important part of today's video. The history of Fortnite. Literally, the game has so much history. Rich history, rich lore. And there is way more than meets the eye than just a build fighting FNCS watch party map. Legends Landing. That name is such a strong name. You can use that for anything. It doesn't have to be just legends for people that have won the game previously. Legends can mean legends about the game. And I think a fun way to preserve Fortnite history in this game is to make a sort of museum mode. How cool would it be if Legends Landing, instead of just being a boring, creative-made box fight or shooting map, you could easily turn it into something richer. Have places where you can go to look at past Fortnite events, past tournaments, past cups that these players have participated in. Maybe a way to see clips of these players winning their game. It doesn't have to be constricted to these small little monuments or whatever they call it. It can be so much more. And again, it doesn't just have to extend to FNCS, it can go beyond it. I think something immersible that allows you to somehow maybe relive these times, like being able to relive a live event, even briefly, or possibly be in the position of the FNCS winners. Listen, I know this all sounds confusing and you might be losing me. I might even have to make a separate video trying to explain myself even more with this mode, but I think you guys might get the point. Basically, Legends Landing needs to be more, or just get rid of it and make a whole new mode. It's not right that this mode is taking up a slot that can be used for possibly an LTM. And I know that the players miss the limited time modes. There's a bunch of box fight and build fight maps already. Get rid of Legends Landing and bring that back instead. But again, in today's video, I wanted to somewhat fix the mode, just basically give it a bit more. And again, the Hall of Champions from this mode is something that I find very fascinating. And you know what? I will make another video on this to kind of expand myself, because I feel like just one video will not do it justice. But basically, can I just leave you with this? Legends Landing is a terrible mode. I think everybody can agree. No one plays it, and if Epic wants to do something about this, which they probably won't, but if they want to listen to anyone's ideas, I think turning it into something more than itself could work, and not just be a carbon copy of literally any other creative map. It can be more than just a watch party. It can be more than just sitting around, emoting, doing sprays, and doing fake celebrations. And so in the next video, I will expand on my museum mode idea that I have for the game, and how Legends Landing can pretty much go extinct in the future. Anyways, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a pretty big yapping session, but if you stuck around this far, I truly thank you. Use code TrulyMystic in the item shop if you want to support me, and I will see you in the next video where we'll continue talking about this, because I definitely do think that Legends Landing can be way better, and I really want to put my creativity for this game to the test. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. It's TrulyMystic, and until then, peace.